That's unprecedented in the banking business. For FHA, VA, rural development, and conventional mortgages, for the best mortgage experience in town, it's Southern Fidelity Mortgage.
Call Southern Fidelity Mortgage Company at 256-656-5936.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Corralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Corralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
As the calendar turns to November, we thank Thanksgiving, and for that we have plenty to be thankful for. As we gather with family and friends, it's a good time to make sure your heating and cooling units are up to speed. Thomas from Talent Heating and Air with us. Thomas, if you're tired of all of that from all the other companies, give Talent Heating and Air a call.
That's right. If you're tired of hearing a bunch of, give us a call at 256-503-4490. We're still out running our special. We can come out, check out your system, make sure it's ready for heating season, and we can do that free gas inspection with that tune-up.
You can also find Talent Heating and Air online at
talenthvac.com.
Don't let any of those other companies jive turkey talk you into expenses you don't need. Give Talent Heating and Air a call today.
I'm pretty sure that you called me a jive turkey.
No, now, Lou. Nobody called anyone a JT.
Jive turkey is a little over the line, my man.
AL cert number 21014.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
It is a Friday edition of The Drive. Happy to report I'm at Bill Washington Stadium. It's round 2 of the 3A playoffs, and we're 2 hours from kickoff between Mars Hill and Madison Academy. I mean, other than the sun going down, it is just gorgeous out here. I realize there's a little light shower that just blew through about an hour ago, but honestly, playing conditions is fantastic here at Bill Washington Stadium. If you don't have any plans, then I'm going to go ahead and make them for you. Come on over here to Slaughter Road, and I hear Wes Neighbors out and about. How are you, Wes?
Doing good, Steve. Doing good. En route to see Connor.
There you go.
Montgomery. Me and Boo were going to go down and see Connor tonight. They're staying in Montgomery. So we're
very nice.
Yes.
Basically, that's a home game for you guys, considering how close that is.
Well, yeah. anywhere as close to Lafayette, Louisiana.
You got to want to go to Lafayette. There's no doubt about that.
Well, no, it's a nice place with nice people, great food. It's just a long way.
Yes, yes. So now that we've had kind of a full day to digest Harbaugh 101, it does feel like taking this 3-game and letting the Big Ten make it feel like they won, although a fairly light punishment. I still have the same feeling as yesterday. How about you about Coach Harbaugh kind of getting away with it a little bit?
Well, I don't know. I think that the Big Ten thought they had to do something this year. This has never happened before. I'm hoping that the NCAA will follow up with some fines. They announced yesterday that it wasn't over for them. So I'm hoping that, I just don't want to, we don't need to cross this bridge again. So it needs to be something that will keep people from trying to do illegal stuff. I mean, that's what they're supposed to be. It's not like Michigan should have to do this kind of stuff in the Big Ten. It's really sad, really it is.
For the hardcore Bama and Auburn fans out there, what should they be looking for from their teams this weekend?
Nobody getting hurt. That's a big thing. If you remember the year that the Auburn game really wasn't. Auburn took over in the fourth quarter, beat Alabama after they and then played Georgia and lost to Georgia. And then Alabama ended up beating Georgia in the championship. If you remember that year, Alabama had a bunch of people get hurt on the secondary. Not to make an excuse, because that's part of football, but that's the big thing. You don't want any of your leaders or big play guys to get hurt. You want to be 100% this game, because to win on the road in the Southeastern Conference for Alabama, you got to play really well. And you got to have your best guys out there and your leaders, because Auburn's going to make some plays. They're going to be fired up, and this is a game that they took Georgia to the fourth quarter, and I think they'll take Alabama to the fourth quarter also.
How do you give Tennessee even a puncher's chance tomorrow? It's a home game at least.
Yes. The OT is, there's a paddle for every ass if you don't show up. Now, if Georgia shows up, doesn't turn the ball over, and gets on Tennessee, do I think Tennessee will come back? No. But if, they fool around, turn the ball over, Tennessee gets up on them, the crowd gets in it, then, it could be an issue. Always could be an issue when that happens. So it's really up to me. It's Tennessee has to play well, and Georgia has to not have their best game and make some mistakes. And but I don't see that happen. I think Georgia's turned the corner. The quarterback's playing like they expected to play him, like they expected him to play early but didn't. And the rest of the team is kind of – I don't think they're as good defensively as they've been. So, but, can the quarterback for Tennessee, can he play like he did in the first half of Alabama for two halves? He hasn't done that so far this year.
Our two games for Pick 2 are the other conference games, Kentucky at South Carolina and Florida at Mizzou. Where do you want to start first?
Well, Florida's a box of chocolates. I think Missouri shows up, takes care of business. A lot of pressure on Florida's coach, I think. He always wins ones he's not supposed to. Has he already done that? Yeah, probably. Yeah. So I don't know. It's
Tennessee game.
To see how they perform. How does Florida perform in that game?
Yeah.
Period. I thought they played a decent football game against LSU. They just couldn't stop the quarterback. Which has been everybody's problem. You know, I watched a little bit of that game on the first half and thought that they played a little better and a little harder than I thought they than what the score would indicate. And then as far as South Carolina, you know, I don't. Kentucky will have to play really bad for them to get beat by South Carolina.
Well, the big mantra is win your last two and you're bowl eligible, but your last two is Kentucky and Clemson. So, I mean, so there's that as well.
You can say anything. That'll mean it's going to happen.
That is accurate. There is no doubt about that. Anything else, storyline-wise? Gosh, I'm trying to. I'm going through.
These games. So you're either getting better or you're getting worse.
Ooh, Arkansas's playing FIU, and
yeah, well, so a lot of people were surprised he hadn't been fired. I think I wouldn't be too quick to pull the trigger on him, seeing what all Arkansas has been through.
Yeah,
I think this guy's a good coach. He looks really confused though, like he's not sure how this season got away from him.
Yeah,
maybe he'll learn from this though. I think it's quarterback play. I think his quarterback was too inconsistent. Maybe they should have paid that other guy a little bit more money to stay the second time he got an offer.
Yeah, maybe.
You look at one thing I think a point needs to be made. You look at the way Thorne's playing at Auburn. You look at the way LSU's quarterback didn't start playing good to the 8th game of last year.
Yeah.
These guys change and they come into new systems and it takes them a minute to get a rhythm. And I think that was the same thing with Arkansas's guys. He never got in comfortable in the new system. It's a big deal to change your system.
Yeah.
And we know that Coach Saban keeps the same system, the same terminology for his players, even though they're always changing. He makes now everybody brings their own little bag, calling games, but they all have the same system year over year. In other words, if you call Bronco, it means the same thing as Bronco did last year, right?
Yep.
And I think they tried to go to more of a straight drop back pass and RPO with the Arkansas guy, and he just didn't pick it up. He did. That's what. And now they're trying to roll them out and do different things. But I just think that you got to be careful with these transfer quarterbacks that come in the first year. I think it's very hard for them if they're doing a new system. If they follow their coach, that's kind of different. They're doing the same system.
Yeah.
But it just takes a minute,
The other story that did get reported on today, Wes, is that Dan Campbell is not interested in the Texas A&M job, but he at least had to field the question about A&M in their job. So that's at least one down. I don't know how many more to go for the Aggies, and I have no clue as to who would be a good fit out there at A&M.
It's a good question. I think before you pay somebody $76 million, though, you need to make sure you got somebody coming in that's better than he is.
You would hope.
Yeah, I was left after watching the only reason I wasn't surprised they did it is because Drew said it was going to happen, and Drew's pretty accurate on the coaching.
Well, he was spot on for both Mississippi State and Texas A&M.
Yeah, which kind of took me aback, but I get Mississippi State. They gave that guy a chance. Normally they could have gone anywhere, and they gave the guy a chance. And I watched it, and the decision making was not there. I don't know how the recruiting's going, so I understand that. Jimbo's a little different story. I get that he underperformed. They have egg on their face because the guy they fired did better than Jimbo. They gave him a national championship trophy to just with a blank on it, to fill in the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, they made such a big deal about it. And then, he had the number one recruiting class, and they acted like they were ready to put the date on it. And we know it takes more than what, with that. And and since that, he just, he went on and kind of made I would say an ass of himself.
Yeah.
When he called Nick Saban out, and now
Yeah.
he's sitting there, and I don't think he's made any friends in the business, that's for sure. And I think Coach Hinshaw called it yesterday. Is that
they're not after you, are they?
No, no, that's a good question though.
Just wanted to make sure that you weren't getting pulled over.
No, I wouldn't be so calm.
No, it would be quickly. I have to go. Click.
Yeah. No, I'd let him walk up the car. Hey, we're on the air. You want to?
Yeah, really. Yeah, that would kind of be an ultimate calling card. But anyway, yeah. That A&M situation, it does sound like there's a whole lot of cooks in the kitchen out there in College Station.
Yeah, but it really is a good job. It really is, in my opinion, because you're going to be able to recruit. You're going to be able to. They got the facilities. They have a great home field advantage. They have one of the biggest stadiums in the country. I mean, you can just go on and on and on about the things that are good. But the thing that they got the reputation now is, hey, if you don't win a national championship, you're gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that
well, heck, they gave Jimbo that placard of national championship. Yeah, they just we're waiting to fill in the year. They're still waiting to fill in the year.
Yeah, and it's just the national championships are hard to come by. And that's and maybe if they maybe they would be happy if they made the Final Four, but that's not what they say. You got to win the SEC first. You got to win the West first.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I just think it's going to be there. A lot of coaches looking at that, and the guys they are going after are guys already making a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to have to be somebody that is making $3 or $4 million versus somebody's making $8 million going to $12 million. That to me, that's it sounds it is a lot of money, but if you're happy with where you are, you need to stay there, right?
Well, something that popped up on my radar, and I just was astounded by this. There are now, what is this? Assistant coaches making $1.9 million or more in college football around the list, and there are nine assistant coaches making at least $1.9 million. The most expensive assistant coach right now is Garrett Riley. He's the Clemson OC, earning a little over $2 million. But what really stood out to me, Wes, was that list from 2018 had 21 assistants making at least $1 million. That's 2018. That is now 66 coaches that make at least $1 million as an assistant coach on the FBS level.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of more money involved every year.
Oh yeah.
And winning gets you a piece of the pie. So, I think you'll see that level off now, though. But yeah,
Your top, just for your knowledge sake, I know you know someone in the strength coaching business. the top strength coach goes to Ohio State's Mickey Mariotti. He's making over $800,000 as Ohio State's strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money for a bench press coach. So, that's what Connor calls himself. Is I coach bench press. So,
I have no doubt Bonesaw is
the strength coach spends more time with the kids than anybody else.
Yeah.
And so you have to have a guy that has enthusiasm, loves what he does, and is a positive influence on your players and your team. And it's very important to be knowledgeable, and so you don't have anything like the situation at Maryland.
Yeah.
You need to have some guy. There's a balance there, and so they should be well compensated. But it's one of those things that everybody's trying to get an edge in some form or fashion, and they have a model to go by, and that's been in Tuscaloosa.
Big time. Big time.
And everybody's trying to copy that model. So, and for good reason. And sooner or later, there'll be somebody else that gets copied, right?
Yeah.
But that model is one that works and one that people are trying to emulate. And a lot of people do a good job, but it's just tough to win to get to the national championship part.
Well, Wes, safe travels to you and Boo. Tell her I said hello, please, and look forward to seeing you on Monday. I'm sure she's probably right there. This is me waving at you, Boo.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk this whole time.
Man, I want to get the breakdown from her. That's what I'm talking about.
As long as she's been quiet in her life.
Wow. Get him, Anna Lincoln. Get him. Get him.
It's not the first time he's made that comment tonight.
Well, safe travels to you guys. We'll talk Monday, Wes.
All right. Everybody have a good weekend.
See you, Boo. Oh, that's good stuff. It is a Pick 2 Friday, and let's see here. Let's squeeze in a call or two. Drudy Arman is going to be on hand here, I'm assuming momentarily, as we'll get his take maybe not only on this game right in front of us, but some SEC action as well. Mark from Spring Hill, Tennessee, kicks us off on a Pick 2 Friday. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing well, Steve. Always good to talk with you. I tell you, the coach I would go after if I were A&M is the guy at Auburn, Hugh Freeze. He's getting paid about $5 or $6 million. They can give him $10, $11 million and snatch him right out of Auburn. That's the guy I would go after. Now, they're not going to get Lane Kiffin. He's the coach in waiting in Alabama. And so,
I don't know about that.
Texas A&M, I think they jumped the
What
gun
is
on
the
this one.
biggest win for Lane Kiffin as a head coach? Tell me the biggest win.
What's his biggest win?
Yes.
I can't think of one right now. Did they beat Missouri?
No, I don't think they played Missouri this year.
Okay, I know they were 7-1 or 8-1 before they got killed by Georgia. So I don't know who they beat.
Yeah, no, they've got two losses, and they've beaten LSU. I mean,
well, I don't know. That's just sort of the word on the street.
I just don't know. I don't know if I'd say coach in waiting. That's all I'm saying.
Right. That's probably a little stretch. But I was going to do the pick two, but let me say this. I live in Tennessee now, unfortunately. I love the job I have, but in terms of, I'm always Alabama, sweet home Alabama. But there's a lot of talk up here about this Georgia game and how Georgia has not played well on the road, and they, didn't play well at Auburn, and the kind of
that's right. Even at Vanderbilt, they struggled out of the gate.
Right. So I mean, this is a game that if you're Georgia, I wouldn't put the money on the dogs. I just put it that way. So I don't even know what the line is.
Well, last I checked, it was still about 10.5, but I'll double check that. Let's get to pick 2. Kentucky at South Carolina. Who you got?
South Carolina.
Missouri playing host to them Gators.
Oh, Missouri. Yeah.
And your tiebreaker is I want the combined score for Auburn and Alabama. Take out Bama's points, take out Auburn's points. Give me one number. Combined score for the
90.
Tide and Tigers.
90.
90 is yours. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
256-576-4977 is the telephone number. Is Badger Larry on the line, or... Oh, wait a second. Jeff is up next. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well.
Let me jump on pick 2 real quick.
You got it. South Carolina playing host to Kentucky.
Let me have Kentucky.
Florida at Mizzou.
And Missouri.
Combined points for the Tide and Tigers is your tiebreaker.
Be 95, please.
It is yours. Good to hear from you, Jeff.
Thanks. Have a good weekend, Steve.
You too. Just that simple to be a part of Pick 2 Friday. Only 37 more minutes as we're walking you up to Bama basketball, as that'll be over the airwaves as they're taking on the Mercer Bears. But later on tonight, it'll be the scoreboard show, the Woody Anderson Ford Friday night scoreboard show. Scott Tyson and Chad Guatney will get you caught up on round 2 of the high school playoff action. And I'm at Bill Washington Stadium. You'll need to go over to Zone 2 to check out Mars Hill taking on the Mustangs of Madison Academy. Good to be back here at Bill Washington Stadium. So phone line's open to you. Let's go ahead and take our first time out on a Pick 2 Friday. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
Have a drink at the Open Bottle, a copious selection of wine, spirits, and craft beer from around the world. They've got a full bar, wine by the glass, craft cocktails, premium bourbon, 48 specialty beers on tap, and a smart staff with hustle. There's an expansive, comfortable patio with a brand new performance stage and live music every night from local artists like Lamont Landers, Rob Aldridge, and James Irvin. There's space for your next celebration or corporate event. The Open Bottle on Highway 72 near Slaughter Road intersection in Madison.
There's nothing like the freedom you feel when you're on the water in your own boat from Freedom Marine in Guntersville. And when it's time to get your boat ready for cold weather, Freedom Marine is your best choice to winterize your boat so it's ready to go next spring. If you've been thinking about a new boat, Freedom Marine has a great selection on sale now with some of the biggest discounts they've had in a decade. For new and used boats, outboard, sales, financing, service, and parts, it's Freedom Marine. Highway 431 in Guntersville and online at freedommarincenter.com.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford's Thanksgiving sales event. This is the time of year to give thanks for all the good things in our lives. And at Woody Anderson Ford, we give thanks that you're driving a Ford. Right now, we've got financing as low as 2.9% for up to 60 months on 2023 Explorer and Bronco Sport, plus $1,500 in bonus cash. Even our 2023 F-150 Crew Cab has $1,500 bonus cash and financing as low as 3.9%. And our lease rates are great too. 2023 Bronco Sport, $389 a month. 23 Explorer, $537 a month. And our 23 F-150 Crew Cab, just $449 a month, plus $3,000 in total trade assistance and red carpet lease cash. These are 36-month leases with $36.95 on Bronco Sport, $49.21 on Explorer, and $51.51 on F-150 due at signing. Zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. These offers end November 30th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. It's Woody Anderson Ford's Thanksgiving sales event, and we hope to see you soon.
Electric cars are coming faster than you think, and that's why we're bringing SEMA Connect to Alabama.
Our team educates you and helps provide a long-term plan for your business. Where to put them, how to get them there, how to pay for them, tax incentives, service, and monitoring. We take care of everything.
Doing the right thing means bringing EV car chargers to Alabama. Let us help you with your EV charging plan.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
It is a Pick 2 Friday. Hour and a half away from kickoff for the first ever meeting between the Mustangs and the Panthers as we get ready for Mars Hill taking on Madison Academy. And Environmental Comfort Systems brings you our weekly conversations with Drew DeArmond. And Drew, you've been a man about town. It's good to see you again.
Hey, man, Zoom is a great thing. Because when you forget half your stuff in your bag because it takes you 4 hours to get out of the airport and you finally get home and you're a zombie and you just fall asleep and then you wake up the next morning, where's all my stuff? And then you realize, okay, I did hook up my computer. Let's just Zoom this thing. And so
you Zoomed this morning?
Yeah, I Zoomed this morning like the other 2 days. And I got to give my boy Chad Guathney all the credit. He's the one that told me, he said, look, man, you can Zoom the shows. It's easy to do. It sounds great. Chad is a wizard. I appreciate Chad. He saved me because I couldn't find half my stuff. And I think, my Listerine and my cologne, somebody got a freebie over at the Orlando airport. So good for them there. But
so I just came from Miami.
Yeah.
I got randomly selected again.
Oh, did
by
you really?
TSA from the
well,
Miami
they thought I was a
International
terrorist. I got randomly because I did not take my laptop and my iPad out, so they took it out of my backpack. Luckily, I still had a mouse left.
Yeah.
But like I said, by the time we got back to Huntsville, there was no Listerine and no cologne. So somebody must have had some bad breath and stunk. So I didn't get any of that. But luckily, all of it was at least half gone. So you just got to replace it. It's all good.
We'll take some phone calls here for a Pick 2 Friday, but I certainly do want to talk about this matchup with you.
Here's how much I love this matchup.
Yeah.
I could have gone to Alabama Mercer basketball, and everybody knows what a big basketball guy I am, but I am here to see this because of these two coaches, because of these players, and because of this environment, and because of my love for high school athletics is why I'm here. And I'm in the hot seat for about 30 minutes in the place of the great Glenn Laird, but I'm telling you, being here is going to be an awesome game tonight.
Badger Larry, you are up next. How are you, Badger Larry?
I'm doing good, Steve. I can't talk about my football team, but I can brag about our hockey teams. We're ranked number 1 in men's and women's right now. How about
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
But
it's just year 1 there for Fickle, so give him a little bit of time.
Luke Fickle will turn it around.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of that. But Wisconsin's a place you can win.
yeah, I think he'll be. I think he'll be fine. It's just they got some issues. They got to get some players and get on the same page. But
Well, Larry, and they're totally changing the offense, right? I mean, they're going to more of a balanced pass-oriented attack with Longo, which is completely different than what Alvarez built this program on for years.
3 yards and a cloud of dust.
The biggin. Larry, you would have been proud if you listened to Randolph football. I brought the biggin out of the mothballs because they have Hunter Wiggins at tight end, a big tight end.
Oh, nice.
That can rumble.
So I was wondering when he was going to mention the R word here at Madison Academy, and sure enough, within about 5 minutes, that R word here on Slaughter Road.
There you go. Well, I got you. I'm gonna get up. I don't think I can do pick 2 yet because I won 2 weeks.
No, yeah, you're still in purgatory at the moment. So congratulations to you.
Well, do you still have my address? Do you still mailing it, or how you doing those?
Yes, I need your address. So feel free to call back in if Brian didn't already get that from you.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
And even if we do have it, it's okay to be redundant with that as well, just to make sure we send you out a gift card. By the way, at Bad Daddy's this morning.
20 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I got one.
Good.
Nice.
Good. Outstanding.
Yeah, I got one.
Appreciate Bad Daddy's.
I get my email, brother. I'm on it. All right.
Well done, sir. By the way, next Friday will be 2 rounds of golf as well as a golf cart for Gunner's Landing. For those of you that want to stick something under the tree, and although right now, I'm telling you, golf weather is happening right now, although I hear there's a cold front that is scheduled to move in by next Friday. So just keep in mind that. Mark is on line 2. How are you, Mark?
Hey, I think it's Sean.
This is Sean. So Sean, Mark, Sean. I'll give Brian the benefit of the doubt right there.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Yep. I was just going to jump on pick 2.
You got it. Kentucky at South Carolina.
Kentucky.
And Florida at Mizzou.
I'm taking Missouri.
And combined total for the Tide and Tigers to give me one number.
96.
Ooh. It is yours. Thank you, Sean. A.K.A. Mark. I'm only messing with you, Brian. Bryce is on line 3. How are you, Bryce?
Good. I want to go pick 2, and then I want to tell you something about who A&M interviewed today.
Okay. Kentucky at South Carolina.
Give me the Wildcat.
You got it. Florida or Missouri?
Oh, Lord. Where are they playing at?
Mizzou.
I might go with Missouri.
And then total combined score for the Tide and Tigers is your tiebreaker.
98.
So who did the Aggies interview today?
They interviewed a guy at UTC, UTA.
Jeff Traylor.
Yeah, Jeff Traylor. Yeah, from
Is that an upgrade from Dirt Neck?
A dead man is an upgrade from Dirt Neck.
I'm asking the wrong guy right here. I mean, I know where. He does have a national championship on his resume. He does.
The only reason he does is because Gus Malzahn couldn't adjust. That's the only reason. I mean, he was up 20-3 for crying out loud.
Did you hear Coach Henshaw yesterday? So Coach Henshaw said that Damian Craig had the signals.
Right.
And then at halftime, they adjusted the signals at halftime, and that led to at least a portion of the comeback there for Florida State.
Hey, guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sure.
No, I was just going to say, now they're going to retire the number of crab legs.
That's
Wednesday.
right. Well, with UNA in town, no less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go Lions.
Roar Lions. I wish. Oh, my goodness.
Go shock the world, Lions.
Ugly, guys.
Well, so I'm with you, but how fantastic would that be?
I mean, that would be so fantastic for, Kerryon Johnson,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that whole staff.
Deshaun Davis.
Yeah, Deshaun Davis, who's a rising star. I mean, Coach Dearman, it'd be so huge for the program. Even if they can be competitive.
Yeah. Yeah. Bryce.
Guys, it is going to be Lane's job to turn down first, and then the other hot name that I think that they'll wait on him is the Florida State's coach. But
Norvell.
If I'm Norvell, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I mean, you're building it
because they're behind him at Florida State. You got a million cooks in the kitchen at A&M. Now, would Kiffin throw himself in the mix? Yes, and he would probably take the job, and he would get a pay upgrade. But again, I don't think it's going to be Lane Kiffin. If I were A&M, you mentioned Traylor. Traylor would be a prime candidate for me because they don't need to be sexy and win the press conference. They need to hire a good football coach. I've heard Schuman's name, but I'll be honest. The top two atop my list would be Jeff Traylor and Mike Elko. Elko, if you watch his teams at Duke,
he knows
those teams at Duke, he is getting the maximum out of those guys, and he understands A&M already because he was there. He recruited some of those guys, and he'll recruit well in the state of Texas. He's very well respected, and I think he would win at A&M. They need to hire a really, really good to great coach. They don't need to hire a has-been and they don't need to just win the press conference. They need to hire a really good football coach and win football games. To me, I think Traylor because of his ties to Texas or Elko because of his previous ties to A&M. To be honest with you, here's what it is. I'm going to equate Gary Patterson. Gary Patterson was a better coach than Fraud Phoney.
Gary Patterson wants to coach again.
Yeah, and Gary Patterson, I'm going to get to that.
I forgot about him. Yeah,
Gary Patterson ended up elevating TCU, okay? And so I think Elko is the same way. Just the difference was Patterson was already on the staff and got elevated at TCU. Elko left.
Yeah.
But now Elko's proven he can be a head coach at a difficult place. He should have beat Notre Dame. They should have beat North Carolina. But he doesn't have the material that either one of those other two rosters has, but he's coaching his tail off.
Bryce, we've got a couple other phone callers on hold. I appreciate you calling in.
Dan Campbell turned
it
down.
He turned it down. We reported
He's
that.
not going to leave the NFL. No. He's an NFL guy. I don't even know why that came up.
Let's talk to Pizza Larry. Pizza Larry, you're next up. How are you, Pizza Larry?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Doing real well.
Good, Pizza Larry. How are you?
Stay safe out there. Traffic is madness.
I agree 1,000% with you. I think Jeff Traylor would be an awesome choice for A&M.
Yeah. You want to hop on pick two?
Yeah, let me get on pick two real quick.
Kentucky at South Carolina.
Give me South Carolina.
And Florida at Missouri.
Give me Missouri.
Total for the Tide and Tigers to give me one number.
In honor of the radio station, give me 97.7, or just give me 97.
There you go. I see what you're doing. Thank you, Pizza Larry. Stay safe out there.
I'll talk to you later.
Philip is next. How are you, Philip?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing
good, sir.
If Texas A&M wants to hire a good coach, they need to go after Dabo Swinney and offer him as much money as he wants to leave Clemson to come at Texas A&M. I believe they'll pay him a whole hell of a lot more money than what he's making at Clemson to come there.
I mean, last I checked, Tyler from Spartanburg is not the AD there at Clemson.
Well, here's the problem. Dabo won't embrace the portal, and he doesn't really embrace NIL a lot, and that's what you're going to have to do. Those are the two of the biggest strengths for A&M and the draw to players. Dabo doesn't want to do that, so why would Dabo – and he has a $64 million buyout. You've already paid $76 million to the most overrated coach in the history of football. Clemson would have to just let him out of his contract, and I don't see that happen.
That ain't going to happen. Tyler from Spartanburg is not the AD.
Tyler from Spartanburg.
Yeah, I know they hadn't paid Jimbo a whole lot of money, since they let him go, but they stick that money in the bank.
Initially, it's a $20 million, but then he gets $7.2 million
per year
until he's 67.
Here's the greatest stat ever. I think he won 40. What was he? 45 and 25. He averaged $2.7 million per win.
And most of those were at home and not on the road.
Yeah.
All right, Philip.
It's going to be an expensive hire for A&M, to find their next coach, I guess. But anyway, I thought I'd just go ahead and throw that out there. I'll go ahead and hop on pick 2.
Kentucky at South Carolina.
I'm going to pick South Carolina.
And Missouri playing host to Florida.
Missouri.
Nobody going Florida. Total combined for the Tide and Tigers.
Has 102 been taken?
It has now. It is yours, Philip.
All right, guys. Well, I do appreciate it. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Keith, 256-576-4977. How are you, Keith?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
Doing real well.
Hey, Steve, I just want to get on pick 2.
You got it. South Carolina or Kentucky?
I'm going with Kentucky.
Florida visits Missouri.
Going Missouri.
Total combined for the Tide and Tigers.
I'll go 111.
It is yours.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Keith. Nick is next. How are you, Nick?
All right. How are you doing?
Good, good.
I just want to jump on the pick 2.
You got it. South Carolina playing host to Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Missouri playing host to Florida.
Missouri.
Total combined for the Tide and Tigers.
108.
It is. That 108 is yours, Nick.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. So let's break this down a little bit here. I mean, really, this matchup between Mars Hill and Madison Academy, we were all expecting it around the quarterfinal time, not the second round.
Well, you never know about, because Mars Hill didn't win the region.
That's right.
And that,
lost to Lauderdale County.
20-14. And so that kind of set this up. But what it does make extremely intriguing is if Madison Academy plays their best game, and that's what it's going to take to win this, because, again, they eviscerated Randolph. They destroyed Westminster. And Westminster's got a really good football team. And they whipped Deshler, just blew Deshler out. But
by the way, those two teams meeting tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So
Deshler and Westminster Christian.
Both of those teams are really good, but Madison Academy handled them. But I think when you look at Mars Hill's schedule, when they played the Russellvilles, the Colemans, all these good teams that they played outside of their region, they played a tougher schedule than MA. But I'm just saying, MA is extremely talented. If they win this game, it sets up another potential rematch with Sylvania. And, you got to win this game first, but there would be no source or lack of motivation for the Madison Academy Mustangs than to get a quarterfinal, opportunity this time, even if it was on the road to play against Sylvania.
Both of these teams were bounced in the second round of the playoffs last year as well.
Both were. It was surprises that both were. So both have kind of been on a mission. Now they've been on a collision course since the Lauderdale County loss, pretty much. No one's, surprised that this is happening. I'm anxious to see MA and how they play against a team of this caliber. Like Bob Godsey said on the show, they're ready to test themselves. They want to see if they're ready to be, the most physical team. That's what it's going to take. Whoever wins the line of scrimmage in this game, it's not going to be, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. It's not going to be one team's going to out big play the other. It's going to be who's going to win it up front.
Yeah.
To me, that's what's going to happen. And whoever stops the run and can make the quarterback have to beat you. And, of course, Griffin Hansen is a great player for Mars Hill. I think he's been starting Steve since the 8th grade. He has a ton of experience.
You're right.
But Podolak has really done a great job in his 1 year here of getting better each and every week. He's an older guy, too, so you got 2 older guys playing against each other. You got Jackson Reese back. It was good to get a game under his belt last week to come back. You got Ken Cherry, who I think is probably the most underrated player in this area because they're,
2,124 yards of total
I'm just
offense.
telling you, though, when you think – because Mush has got a lot of accolades because of the 13,000 yards and everything like that, but I'm just saying – I think this MA team, this is going to be the measuring stick tonight and what they've been working toward since July.
Let's squeeze in a couple of calls before our final break. Baghdad Brian. Hi, baby.
Good evening,
How you doing, Brian?
Hey, doing great. How y'all guys doing tonight?
Good. Doing real well.
Hey, I'm a lifelong Bama fan, and I've got to thinking, if Alabama makes the playoffs and, of course, wins the playoff, Coach Saban gets his another national championship, to me, I think the chances of him walking away or retiring are pretty high. What is your guys' thoughts on that?
I think he's got another 3 to 5 years left in him.
I mean, if you think about Milroe is coming back.
Right. I mean,
there is no fear of him leaving early. I'd even say 32's coming back because of
I would
injury.
think the one that you'd have to watch is Terrion Arnold because he's started to blossom.
I mean, Brian, you make a decent point because he's 72.
Yeah.
But I am the invigorated guy, but he does seem a little.
He really likes coaching this team.
Yeah.
And I think he likes his coaching staff a lot better too, and I would too.
I think that's a better question for Miss Terry more than anything.
Right.
Let's say if he does walk away. Let's just pretend like he does walk away this year. For me, the guy that I dream of replacing him is Lane Kiffin. What are y'all's guys' thoughts on that?
N.O. Next question.
Yeah,
Unless you want to end up on 60 Minutes for a lot of things you don't want to talk about.
To me, he's just much better option than Dabo and some of the other guys out there.
Dabo, I think that ship has sailed. I think
he deserves a phone call. I think
But I'll just say
the
this.
resume deserves a phone call.
Another tea leaf I'm reading is if he keeps developing as a coach, he's already taken himself out of going to A&M, and I think there's a reason behind that. I think Nick Saban's successor is in Eugene, Oregon.
Ooh, that would be, yeah.
Within 3 to 5 years, I think Dan Lanning will be the next football coach at the University of Alabama if he keeps developing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's it. I'd love that. Also, can I do the pick two?
Yes. Kentucky at South Carolina.
I'm going to go with South Carolina.
And Missouri playing host to Florida.
Got to go with Missouri.
Total combined for the Tide and Tigers is your tiebreaker.
103.
It is yours. Thank you, Brian. Have a good weekend. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. Final call for phone calls. Rebel J will get right to you on the other side, walking you up to Madison Academy playoff football over on Zone 2.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Work injuries happen in Alabama all the time, whether it's an accident at work, getting injured, lifting heavy objects, hurting your hands on a machine, or just performing the same movement over and over until your body breaks down. But when it happens, there's only one law firm to call in Alabama. That's Pond Lehocky Giordano. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise on a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 60s and lower 70s. A couple of isolated to widely scattered showers are going to be possible through Friday afternoon, even as we head into Friday evening. We're only going to drop into the low and mid 50s as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. Plenty of sunshine on Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid 60s, dropping into the mid 30s by the time we get to Sunday morning. You're definitely going to need some sort of a jacket as you head out the door for Sunday services. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
November in Alabama means one thing.
Alabama and this SEC football arch rival meet in the Iron Bowl.
The Iron Bowl.
What is Arkansas?
No. Listen for full coverage of the Iron Bowl right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Correct response, what is Auburn?
Final call for phone calls right now. Let's squeeze in Rebel J. How are you, Rebel J?
What's going on?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
We're good.
We're looking forward to some elite high school football.
Yeah, I'm looking for a good game out of corner tonight with West Morgan.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. West Morgan is so athletic and so speedy. It's going to be a battle of tempos because corner wants to play a fist fight, wants to run it, wants to keep it in a phone booth, and West Morgan's got a big play QB, wide receiver, and Jalen Fletcher at running back. It's going to be a fascinating game.
Yeah, Jalen Fletcher, he's impressed this year, that's for sure.
Yes, he has.
But let me jump on pick 2, please.
You got it. South Carolina playing host to Kentucky.
Give me Kentucky.
And Missouri playing host to the Florida Gators.
Missouri.
And total combined for the Tide and Tigers is your tiebreaker.
84.
It is yours. Thank you, Jay.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night.
Mike is on line 3. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing fine, guys. How are y'all?
Doing real well.
Just pick 2 for me.
You got it. South Carolina or Kentucky?
Kentucky.
And Florida at Missouri.
Mizzou.
Total combined for the Tide and Tigers to give me one number is your tiebreaker.
83.
It is yours. I see what you did there, Mike.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Going a little Price is Right action. 1 under Jay. Well played, sir. Have a good weekend.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise. By the way, on the subject of that, the drive will be live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course we're out Thursday and Friday. Likewise, for the morning guys. And I don't know about Tom Abraham; he's always on his own schedule.
Well, I'll be spending a lot of time at the radio station and then at Bob Jones for the Into Hoops Invitational. So
I thought what you said about Arkansas was interesting.
If it comes open, and if Sam Pittman doesn't beat Missouri, and to me, I think it will, I would go after Gary Patterson 110 miles an hour. Yeah. Because he spent, so many years at TCU. He recruited Texas really well. He's a developmental coach, which is what Arkansas needs. He develops players. He would have the natural fertile recruiting contacts and ground already to go into Texas with Arkansas. Cherry picked the best players in Arkansas, and I think he could make them very competitive. And he's a defensive guy. They'd be hard-nosed and physical, which has been their MO. I think Gary Patterson would be a perfect fit. And for Mississippi State, here's a couple of names. Back to the Future, Dan Mullen. I still think he would be a fit. And then as far as coordinators go, Zach Selman, remember, he came from Joe Castiglione at Oklahoma. He was there when they hired Jeff Lebby as OC. Jeff Lebby, offensive guy. That's the direction the team was going in under Mike Leach.
That's right.
He would bring the air raid back and might bring some coaches with him from OU. Jeff Lebby would be a name to watch there, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Drew, appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. And you and Glenn have a great call. I'm going to enjoy this from the stands and try to keep my buddy David Reese calm tonight, everybody.
Madison Academy, Mars Hill will take center stage here in about an hour. We'll have the coverage over on Zone 2. We've got UAH Charger basketball over on Zone 3 as they take on the Rail Splitters of Lincoln Memorial.
Huge matchup, too. That's under the radar, too. Lincoln Memorial's pretty good.
Preseason number 6.
They've already played Nova.
Yeah, I know. We'll see how they bounce back. There will be Charger basketball on tomorrow afternoon as they take on Fisk. But right now, it's Alabama basketball.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars? 3 end-zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Roll Tide.